Hi everyone, welcome to SEO podcast by SEO Sly. I'm Olga Zar, your host, and today I have a very special guest. This is Kristina Azarenko. Kristina, how are you doing?
Hi everyone, I'm doing great.
And I think Kristina is one of those guests who doesn't really need an introduction. I think everyone in the SEO world knows Kristina. But Kristina, if you were to summarize yourself in 1-2 sentences, what would you say?
In 1-2 sentences, okay, I was not prepared for that, but that's the hardest thing. But honestly, I'm currently on the mission to help people learn SEO so that I can demystify and break this down. After over a decade, I always keep saying decade every single year. It grows and
Uh-huh.
grows, but I'm like a decade. Yeah, it's cool. A decade of experience in SEO, doing everything like hands-on experience, and I really love this field, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Was it just 2 sentences?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It was cool. Okay, Christina, I want to get back in time to the very beginnings of your SEO career. So this decade or more ago, how did it all started? How did it happen that you ended in SEO, landed in SEO?
Yeah, like I love that you said landed in SEO, because there's no person
Yeah,
who wanted to be an SEO when they grew up, when they were like 2, 3 years old. Now, yes, but like our SEO
yeah,
generation, not really. So like, yeah, people land into it. And
totally.
I that's the same for me, but I think that there was a lot of randomness in this as well, kind of like intuition plus randomness,
Yeah, totally.
because I was working as a debt collector at a watch factory. Nothing like beating people, no, not this kind of stuff. I was just like calling and reminding them to pay
Okay.
and convincing them to pay, like all this kind of stuff that they owed. Like, be clear here. Now, then everybody was like, Kristina Azarenko was a debt collector. She was beating people. No, I did not.
Okay.
Um,
Verbally,
but
verbally.
yes. But then one day, I still can't explain how, I found a course in SEO. It was offline course back in Minsk in Belarus, where I'm originally from. So I signed up for the course, and like, it was that random that for some reason I thought that, oh, it's going to be cool, and I spent 2 monthly salaries on this course. Like, I
Oh,
really believed into it. In it, it wasn't free. It wasn't something like, oh, I can pay it from I don't know, just like one day of working. No, it was like 2 monthly salaries, and I fell completely in love with SEO. I remember I was coming back home after every lesson, and I would be like, oh wow. And I would just read and read and read and read. And I remember I even took 2 weeks off from my then job as a debt collector, because I wanted to read and learn more.
mm.
And then after I finished the course, I think it was like 3 months later, I found a junior SEO position. So that's
Oh.
basically how I started in SEO.
Okay. So what year was it?
It was 2011
Uh-huh.
ish,
Okay.
plus
Okay.
minus
Cool.
or
Cool.
10.
And this first junior SEO position was in Belarus or was it in?
It was based in Belarus, but it was for a UK agency
Mm-hmm.
that also had like outsourcing department in Belarus.
Okay. Okay. And like how much time did you spend there?
I think I spent there a year, and
Uh-huh.
I remember after 3 months of working there, I was like, wow, that's so fascinating. Because obviously, when I came there, like, that was the only job where I was actually taught doing something, the processes. The rest of the jobs, I would create all the processes, but I was taught it first. And then there were some things that we were doing that I was like, oh, that doesn't look right. Like, article speeding, but like everybody was doing that
Yeah,
at that time, right? Everybody was like submitting these links
totally.
on social
As
media,
in
bookmarking
articles,
websites.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, wow, that doesn't look right to me. And then I was like started going more into technical part of SEO, and I was really fascinated by it. And at some point, I was actually like I think 3 months later, I was actually kind of like teaching people how to do things, and I was assigned as a lead of my group, so I was like training them because I was so fascinated. I loved SEO so much, and people who were working there like a year or something, they did not really want to like learn a lot. And I'm not saying anything bad about them. It's just like if you're absolutely crazy about the topic or you're not, that's
Yeah.
totally fine. Both are okay. Um, so yeah, I started like training, and then I was sent to London, UK for like a Christmas party. That was a highlight of my life because I dreamed
Uh-huh.
to go to the UK for a long time. So yeah, and I spent there a year. Then like things shifted in the company, so like okay, it's time to move on.
Uh-huh. Okay. And the next role?
So the next role was actually again, I was also like kind of outsourced company in Belarus, but I was actually working for London School of Business and Finance,
Uh-huh.
and it was pretty cool because I remember at that time, I had enough time on my hands to experiment as well, not just only like trying to keep up, but also experiment as well and learn. And I remember at that time Google Tag Manager, just like it was the first version of Google Tag Manager, and I remember I was fascinated by it too. So I was like, okay, I want to do more like tags and everything. And I at that time I also had a blog. It was in Russian. It was an SEO blog, so whenever I would learn, I would just like write a post about it, and like with all the screenshots, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Um, yeah, so that was my second position. I think it was like a year and something.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I was like, oh, it's time to move on. I think I've done everything here. I want something else. So I went to work for another company uh, with the name is Amasti, and they were developing, and they still developing Magento extensions.
Mm-hmm.
So it opened the whole world for me for like about learning about Magento, about again more technical things because I was doing lots of SEO, but like you can't do SEO if you don't know what the company actually does, right?
Yeah,
Even keyword research, you need to know the topic
totally.
deeply so that you can be really good at it, right? So I worked there for some time. Then I left another company. Then I came back. So overall, I think it's 5 years, and then I moved to Canada.
Uh-huh. Okay. And when you moved to Canada, you started working on your own?
Not really. So I remember, so before moving to Canada, when I was still in Belarus, I was working for a master, but doing I was doing SEO, and then I was doing paid ads for full time, like actually full time. I was doing
Okay.
Facebook ads, I was doing Google ads, and I remember I was looking at the Google ads account. I loved it so much. It was my baby. I had an app on my phone so that I can check out how much ROI we had. I think the account was like over 1,000% ROI, and I
Oh,
was like, oh my god,
nice.
this is my baby. Um, it was really hard to let things go. So I moved to Canada and I worked for the company for 3 more months so that like we could hire other people so that I can train them and basically so that they can take
Yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah.
And then I just started looking for a job in Toronto. I worked at one company, didn't like it a lot. I mean, it was great. I was just up for more challenges. Like the website there was pretty small, and I was doing both paid ads and SEO. That was the time of my career when I was like, I like both. I want to do
Huh.
both. I want to do paid ads. I want to do SEO. And I so clearly saw how they work together. And for me, paid ads, I mean, to me they seem so much simpler than SEO as well, and they like complemented really well. And it was a really great time when I was learning a lot too, because paid ads, they're changing like
Yeah.
all the time too, like SEO, right? And yeah, so but then I eventually I found a job at an agency in Toronto, and I was doing only SEO there. And I worked there for a year, and then I was like, okay, now I'm done. I'm ready to do my own thing. I
So
didn't
how
know that
long have
it
you been
required.
doing your own thing?
Um, from September, I believe, from September of 2019.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice,
So
nice. And regarding Google Ads, there are few SEOs who do Google Ads, at least that I know of. I used to do Google Ads, but I stopped like 7 years ago. So probably
yeah.
I don't have much to say about that anymore. But can you tell me like how do they complement one another? How like maybe some of the campaigns you did using both? I'd be happy
Yeah.
to learn.
Well, to be fair, I did paid ads also like in 2017, 2018. So I remember when I was working like for the whole year, so many things changed when I was working. I was like, so many things. So obviously now, like everything I know is pretty irrelevant. Just the logic is correct. But I remember I had really fun campaigns targeting our competitors keywords, our
Okay.
competitors brand names, finding creative ways of how like I can use their brand names as like normal words, like regular words, because
Okay.
sometimes their names were not like brand, like Amasti is like it's a brand name, but some
They
of the competitors had like a little bit other names, not
that have
unique.
other meanings, right?
Yeah, so that's like I really loved that. It was really fun. And yeah, I remember I was just um experimenting a lot, and I was looking at the words that were like I was optimizing like where were ranking organically versus where we were ranking maybe like on second, third page. So I was optimizing ads for that. um and I remember I was testing like Google only kind of started automation then, and it was pretty good at that time. It was pretty good because you still had lots of controls. So I was testing lots in that. I was doing A/B tests, like about the copy, what copy works best. Yeah, it was cool because the only thing that I love about, I think, ads more than about SEO is that um, you get the answer, you get the result of what you've done, like basically
Yeah.
instantly within a day or two, and it's really cool. That's kind of something that you can sometimes have in technical SEO sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that respect I love Google Ads a lot because you can test and like evolve and do things all the time, and you can instantly see the results.
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. And unless you find like a super quick technical SEO win, you probably have to wait
I
months
mean,
or weeks.
if you if you if your website is disallowed in Robo 60 and you allow it in Robo
Yeah,
60,
yeah,
well, within a day, and you submit
yeah,
it to Google, well, within a day, you'll see the results, right?
yeah, totally, totally.
Or
That's
the
funny.
opposite. But
Yeah,
we don't
even
want the opposite.
yeah, totally, totally. And you mentioned something that you work for a company that was creating Magento extensions. So is it where your e-commerce SEO experience comes from? Because I know you are also like heavy on that.
Yes, that's where my e-commerce experience is coming from. And it's like there are two sides to that. First of all, we were working with merchants. And secondly, like the whole website was a commerce website
Mm-hmm.
because it was selling extensions. And I set up like we would set up all the e-commerce tagging, and I remember when enhanced e-commerce rolled out, we were setting this up as well. And in even in Google Ads, we attributed sales to specific clicks to specific keywords so that you can easily see that. So that's where my love for e-commerce started, because I
Mm-hmm.
really love that you can tie uh, what you're doing to exact numbers of revenue. I really love that.
Yeah, it's nice to know that how
Exactly.
impactful you are. Yeah. Okay, so you are 4 years more or less into your own thing, if I'm counting correctly. And what is it exactly that you have been doing for those 4 years?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I take like a year plus, and then I get bored and move on to something else.
Uh-huh.
But but it's always like within the same area. But so let me tell you, when I left my job, when I quit my job, and the next day I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm working for myself. It was not like butterflies everywhere, and
Uh-huh.
people are coming to me, bringing me money. It was
Take it.
like, yeah, yeah, you'll take my money. It was the opposite. It was the opposite because I quickly realized that I was lacking business skills at all, like
Mm-hmm.
literally at all. And I even remember one of my first conversations with clients. I was even afraid to jump on calls, on sales calls.
Oh,
I was, right.
same with
So
me.
I
So yeah, I can totally relate. Yeah.
so I remember I was slacking this potential client, and they were like, "Okay, how much will it cost?" And I was like, "Oh, it will cost this amount of money. It will take me this amount of time. But don't worry, if it takes me even more, I will not charge you more money."
Oh,
And now I'm like,
what have I done?
"Oh it's like, well, it's a learning curve. You all start somewhere. So I was really good at my SEO skills, but I was really bad at business skills. But I learned it quickly, and I took every course, spoke to so many people who I can learn from, and I think within a couple of months I was really comfortable doing that. So I created, like, okay, for myself, I created my framework of how I can be confident in my business skills as well, how I can use them to complement my SEO skills, because you don't want to be on the sales call begging people, "Oh, I'm not looking very confident, but trust me, I'm really good at what I do." Well, it doesn't work like that. And
Uh-huh.
it's good and it's bad, but the truth is, and now I hire people as well, and the truth is, if you can't highlight your expertise, you will not be hired, even if you have the best skills ever. That's how it works in the world. So it's better to like level up those skills. Two, I realized it quickly, so I did it. And then I think within a couple of months I was doing really good, and then COVID hit. It
Oh,
was
okay.
fun.
And what happened with COVID for you?
I think I think it was pretty interesting because I suddenly found myself with lots of time on my hands,
Because
and I
you had clients, right? And some of them probably
yes,
quit after COVID started,
yes, I
right?
had clients. I had clients. Most clients started panicking. I mean, they came back eventually, but when COVID hit, like nobody
Yeah.
knew what was going on. So they're like, okay, we are like pausing. So I remember one month. It was, I believe, May of 2020. So like obviously, when you stop working with clients, you still, or like stop doing something, you still have money coming in based on the work that you did previously, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then since I didn't have anything in pipeline, I think May 2020, I made $75.
Oh.
I think that's the smallest amount I've done since I started working in
Uh-huh.
general, like working.
Okay.
But at the same time, I think there was something great about that time because I had more opportunities to like create content, basically look back at what I've done and rethinking, and again, like create something based on it. So it was really great. Like looking back, like obviously, well, you in that moment, you're like, oh my God, everything sucks.
Yeah.
But when you like at the end at the end of the tunnel, you're like, oh well, it was pretty good. It's like a pretty good experience, and I'm pretty grateful for it.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay. Like COVID was kind of similar to me because like COVID made me start like sharing, made me create my blog
Mm-hmm.
because like I was this hidden person at the agency who was no one knew, but I was doing some interesting things for like 7 years at the time. So I had some experience, a lot of experience, but I wasn't like sharing it actively. And
Mm-hmm.
COVID hit, and I kind of said, okay, so this is going to be my pandemic project. And this project pretty quickly in 3 years, in 2 years, let me go on my own as well. So
Mm-hmm.
we both had like good experiences from pandemic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, pandemic has changed so many things, and like put people on other paths that they never thought that they could be
Totally,
on, right? So
totally.
yeah.
So before pandemic, you were doing mostly clients, and after pandemic, during the pandemic, it switched to like building courses, right? or
Well, not really. So basically I was doing SEO for a long time, and as I said, even at my first job, I was kind of like natively training people. And I remember even at the agency back in Toronto, if when someone would come like more junior, I would like to help them, I would train them. So basically teaching came naturally to me. And
nice.
also at some point, even from starting from 2018, when I no, the beginning of 2019. So I moved to Canada in 2018, and in 2019 in January I was thinking, oh wow, I have so much experience in like my personal experience in adapting in a different country with a different culture. And I came from like the um, post-Soviet Union country,
Yeah.
right? So like the
Yes, we are
mindset is
neighbors.
so
We used to be neighbors,
yeah,
so I kind of understand totally the
yeah,
climate.
yeah, exactly. So you have so many things, like so many mindset blocks in your
Yeah.
head coming from this background, and coming into the Western country, oh my god, these blogs don't serve you at all. So I remember in 2019, at the beginning of 2019, I even like outlined, maybe I'll create a course for people like me who moved from these kind of countries to Western countries,
Uh-huh.
and Canada specifically. So I had the whole outline. I remember I was thinking, oh my god, I can invite this friend of mine who does like she was helping people to build their CVs for
Mm-hmm.
finding a better job, right? It's like, oh, maybe I'll do that. So I was fascinated by this whole course creation thing, but I didn't pull the trigger. And I'm kind of like happy that I didn't, because there are so many things that go into creating a course. But I started thinking that like, I can really help people by sharing what I know. So I kind of share it in like on social media, but it was not that intentional as it would be in the course, right? We package everything and create a structure for people.
Mm-hmm.
um so when I quit my job in September, I started to do two things simultaneously. I started working with clients, and I built a course, my first course, but it was in SEO, because obviously I already had audience and I already had visibility in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
So it was called SEO Challenge.
Yeah,
I
I
love this
remember.
course. I love this course so much. It
I
was
couldn't
insane.
afford it at the time, but I remember it.
I remember I was launching it, and I was so afraid that nobody will buy. But in the end, like I ended up with 10 people in the first cohort. So it was cohort
Uh-huh.
based. And most of these people, I think nine of these people, I never met them.
Uh-huh.
So it was so cool to me that they trusted me to do that. And some of these people are still like in my all my other courses. Like I know
Uh-huh.
them by names. I know them pretty well by now. So it was cool. So I created this course, and I was then for some time I was working with clients, and simultaneously when I had more time on my hands, I would launch a course, a
Mm-hmm.
cohort, basically not a course but a cohort of the same course of SEO Challenge. um, and then again switching back to client work, and then I'll launch a cohort. So that was my life till I think till the end of 2021.
Uh-huh. And what
Yeah.
happened in 2022?
So 2021, I was really burned out.
Uh-huh.
And I realized that it was so much, and especially like working with clients and courses. It's well, if you take courses seriously the way I do, I don't know how what was the best way to describe it, but well, it's okay to have a course and to work with clients at the same time. For me personally, it was not working really well, because I could not send clear messaging in my social media platforms, and I needed to switch all the time, like my mindset all the time between these two things.
Uh-huh.
So, and I realized that I was burned out so much. It was really bad. So I took, I think, a month and a half off completely to figure out, okay, like I need to calm down, I need to understand what's going on, and I need to understand how was the best way to move on. And at the beginning of 2020, 22nd, I decided that I would phase from client work. So I finished all the projects that I was doing, and all retainers that I had. And basically, um, I switched back to my SEO challenge course. And then at
Mm-hmm.
some point I was like, okay, because since I created it, and like I was updating it all the time, but since the beginning people were asking me for technical SEO specifically. And even in the SEO challenge, that biggest model, it was model 7, it was technical SEO. It was the favorite model of all my students. So I was like, okay, maybe it's finally time to listen to people that were asking me for 2 years, and actually create something that is more technical SEO based than general SEO. And let's be honest, especially when you go deeper and deeper in different SEO specializations, and there, like, you can think about a lot of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, like, it's impossible that you can know everything, right? So at some point I was like, well, love technical SEO more than like content SEO. I don't really want to teach people how to find keywords anymore. It's not like it's not important, it is important, but there are so many more people who are much better than me at that.
Mm-hmm.
But in technical SEO, I know that I'm really good, and I know that if I focus only on this, I know that it will be 100% valuable for everyone, for me and for students, like for everyone who is involved. So like, okay, that's now it's time to move on and to switch to technical SEO specifically.
And that's how your uh, tech SEO, what was the name of this course called?
Yeah, it's Tech SEO Pro.
Tech SEO Pro, yeah.
Yeah, that's how it
Okay,
was
okay,
born.
okay. And do you this course and SEO challenge? Do you also this course launch in this cohorts, or like is it? Why do you do it this way? Is it better or than having the course open all the time?
Yeah, I think it depends.
Yeah,
But
tell me.
honestly, I think, well, launching cohorts, it was great, but also every launch required lots of time. It's insane how much time a launch
Uh-huh.
of the level that I was doing it required. Like, you could record the whole course during, like,
During the
instead of the
launch.
launch. Yeah,
Oh Jesus.
it was a lot. Yeah, but plus there were people who were like, well, I want to join, but I can't do like this specific time frame. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, what can I do so that it's accessible to people at any time, so that like they can do it at their own pace. They do not depend on any time zones or anything like that, and they can take time off between the course as much as they needed. So I decided uh, to then do a pre-recorded course and give people lifetime access with Tech SEO Pro.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay, cool. And how many courses do you have now? As of
Mm,
now?
so I closed the SEO challenge last year, so that I want to focus specifically on technical. And this year I launched website migrations course, which basically, I mean, it's a huge resource for
Uh-huh.
people who want to help companies migrate like different kinds of migrations, the main migrations, URL migrations, content management system migrations. So I've done lots and lots of migrations before. So I basically put everything together, like in frameworks, in
Mm-hmm.
downloadables and checklists and everything. And I created this course at the beginning of this year. So that means I have 2 courses, and I'm going to launch a new one a little bit later. But Tech SEO Pro is still like the main course for me, the main course that I focus on.
And can you share the topic of the third one?
Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's something that people definitely need, especially SEOs, especially, well, especially technical SEOs. It's going to be about um, how to work with developers to be heard
Oh,
and get things implemented.
yeah, yeah. That's probably a
So
very
that's
desirable topic.
yeah, because I've worked with lots of clients, and like I'm not saying that all the time and 100% everything was implemented that I was recommending, but when I basically switched to this kind of approach that I'm going to teach, it helped me so much. I remember I was working with a client. They were a content management system, and they are empowering like lots and lots of websites, obviously. And with my technical SEO recommendations too, I needed to be really um intentional, because you can't say, oh, for this website do this, for this website do that. I was creating like technical SEO requirements for the whole platform that would empower all the
Mm.
websites. And I remember I was sending them some recommendations that were pretty complex, and then they're sending me back for QA, and I'm QAing, and everything is right. Everything is
Oh,
implemented correctly. Now,
that
I'm not saying that
rarely
it's only
happens.
right. Now, I'm not saying that it's only me. The developers like did their job pretty well, but it was also about like how I presented things, how I
Mm-hmm.
explained them, how I set up tasks, this kind of stuff. So it all helps. So yeah, I find that that's something that people need, and I
Yeah.
have this information, so I really want to share it too.
Okay. And how many times per year can people do you do those launches?
Oh well, if people decide to go with like with course creation, if they decide to go with a launch, um, basically launches per year, it well, you need to understand what you're signing up yourself for. But then everything depends on the demand and your time.
Mm-hmm.
And if the launch is easy for you, if you don't do if you don't do like a webinar, like sequence of emails or anything, I mean, is it possible even to launch without that this time?
Okay.
Not really. But I mean, I would say if you want to launch a course, launch once and then see how it goes, like whether you want to do cohorts, whether you want to do or like pre-recorded, because well, there is nothing bad in doing like, and it's really pretty cool when you do live teaching as well.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on the audience and the demand and on the topic that you want to teach. Because for me, teaching website migrations or technical SEO live was not really
Yeah.
a good idea, because I didn't want to waste people's time. I wanted to be like, okay, that's what I prepared. That's exactly what you're going to learn. These are practical things. I'll go and show to you like in my browser, not just like, it's not just slides where
Yeah.
I would just like read from slides. I don't want to do that. But at the same time, if I would do it live and with technical SEO, it's pretty hard, and I didn't
Yeah.
want people like to waste their time. I wanted them to have bite-sized information that I can use that they can use right away. While, for example, if I pull the trigger and I decide to finally create kind of like a boot camp for people who want to launch courses, in that respect, starting with this topic, I would definitely do it live, because it's so much
Mm-hmm.
easier. I don't need to like debug anything in the code, right? I just have like a framework, my structure, and I'm talking through it, I'm showing it, and then I answer questions for that kind of topic. That's so much easier to teach live than for technical
Yeah.
SEO.
Okay. And how do you launch a course? Which is, can you tell me more about this? How do you do it in the right way? Like you said something about email sequence. What else is there?
Well, um, course launches is all about marketing. That's I think that's important to understand. So
Yeah.
what it means is that you really need to know your audience well. You need to know exactly who you're helping, because if you're like, oh, I can help so many people, like everybody is like that. I know so much, I can help so many people. That is true. I'm not saying that is wrong, but that is totally true, and I believe that. And we don't have lack of ideas. We just can't focus on something. So when it comes to like to creating a course, it's really important to focus on something and less is more. Like, you don't want to overwhelm people. You want to give them exactly what they need to know, exactly how they can achieve the result that they want. So obviously, if you advertise it, you need to be able to help them achieve this result. And
Okay.
without going in like different rabbit holes, because that's too much. People, you need to value people's time. And the best thing that you can do is to pre-sell your course before you actually create it. Because you
Yeah.
don't want to spend like hours and hours and hours and hours and then nobody buys, right? So you need to know your audience. You need to know the exact transformation, the exact goal that you're helping people to achieve. And obviously, like, it goes without saying, but I'll say it, you need to be you need to have expertise in it. Because, oh my god, I kid you not, I start seeing these ads on my Instagram, create a course with ChatGPT, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen
no,
them
don't
too.
do that. Like, what's your expertise then? Like, what value are you adding if you're just like doing this bullshit?
Yeah,
No,
totally,
don't do
totally.
that.
Seen that.
Yeah, like, it's insane. It's like, no. And yeah, and pre-sell before you actually launch.
Okay. And how many hours, more or less, are there of material in your courses?
So I believe in Tag SEO Pro there are 13 plus hours,
Uh-huh.
and in the website migration course, I believe like 8 hours.
8 hours split into how many videos?
Um, I don't remember how many videos, but
Yeah.
it's not about the number of videos.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
totally,
more
totally.
about the number never matters, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I also try to, like, if I see that the video is too long, I try to split it into part one, part two, part three, so that again it's bite sized for people, so that they don't need to take 2 weeks off to go through the
Okay.
course, and they can do it on their own, in their own pace, between
Mm-hmm.
some things that they're doing for work, or I don't know, some weekend.
Okay. And can you share what platform do you use for course creation?
Um, so I use multiple things. For recording, I use Loom, and then there is some editing going on. I mean, I honestly prefer to do less auditing and be more authentic, plus
Yeah.
prepare well,
Instead of cutting
versus,
things.
yes, instead of cutting things like, oh, no. Um, yeah, exactly. Don't want to do that. And yeah, so I use Loom. I use some other platform to host the videos, and I use core platform called Thrivecart, and it has
Uh-huh.
Learn Plus to actually build the course. And what I love, so the platform, I mean, lots of things involved, but the platform where I'm hosting videos, and they're actually embedded in on the course
Mm-hmm.
hosting platform. What I really love about it, and it was before all the AI things, but apparently there is a search box in the video. And for example, if you want to look, oh,
Oh.
canonical, or like something that I was saying in the video, but you don't
Uh-huh.
remember where it was exactly, it's like, okay, you can just type keyword and then search, and
Nice.
then it will show you every time I say this word. I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. That's why
Yeah.
I'm using
Very
this
cool.
platform. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. And you have quite a huge following on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Like, how did you build it? By just sharing tips? Because I noticed you share a lot of like tips simply on LinkedIn. Is it the
Yeah,
way?
so yeah, that's the way. I mean, I have never done anything like paid ads, like
Mm-hmm.
follow me, anything like that. It's just I starting again from believe from July or June 2019. So pretty like 4 years.
4 years?
Ago. 4 years I've been sharing lots of valuable information and tips on social media, on Twitter and LinkedIn. So that's basically how my following grew. Then I think my speaking helped. Plus on LinkedIn I have a course on LinkedIn Learning.
Uh-huh.
So that helps too. People follow me after it, and it has like 30K students. When I
Uh-huh.
check, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. That's a lot.
But how does this course work? Like, how did you end up doing it?
I mean, I was sharing something on LinkedIn, and
Mm-hmm.
then they somehow noticed it, and they reached out to me and say, "Oh, do you want to do a course for LinkedIn Learning?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "Well, let's try do that." Yeah, and we did, and it's now live there.
Nice, nice. Very nice. Okay, so courses, and there is also SEO extension. How did
Yeah.
that kind of came to be?
Yeah, so I think I launched that SEO Pro extension in 2020, I believe, or first, I think 2020. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, I
uh,
remember more or less. Yeah.
yeah, so I was using another extension which was called Meta in One Click or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. There is such an extension.
And
Yeah.
I loved it. It was pretty good, but I was lacking some functionality. Plus, it didn't really look good, in my opinion. So I was
It
like,
doesn't.
well,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, so I was like, can I create something that I will actually love and I'll be using every day? So my husband is a, UX UI designer. So I created a vision of what exactly needs to go into the extension. Basically, what functionality there should be, what it should look like everything, right? So the whole vision. And then he did all the design, and then I hired a developer, and I thought it will take, in my world it always works like that. I thought it will take maybe a month. It took 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because because I was constantly testing and testing and testing because I didn't want to roll out something that was not good enough. Of course, there can be like bugs, and sometimes in general when you roll out some software, right? But my job was to make it really good so that I don't need to like, oh my god, there's bug rolling down. Like, no. So yeah, so that's how it happened. And I remember people like so excited, they loved it, and I was so happy about that. I was actually quite nervous to launch it, and now every time I go to some conference or some other places, or sometimes when I would speak to potential clients, they'll be like, "Oh, we are using your extension."
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Cool, cool. I thought you were the person who coded that.
No, you know what? What I'm doing, I'm I try to do what I'm good at, and I delegate
Yeah,
the rest.
yeah, that makes sense.
Because yeah, because
Totally.
I well now with ChatGPT you might probably create this, but I'm like, honestly, who is going to be better, me
Yeah,
or a developer? And while the extension is being developed, I can do something else that is more valuable because there is like my pure expertise in
yeah,
it.
totally, totally. So, talking about your expertise, can you share some things about e-commerce SEO you don't share very often? Maybe some tidbits from your course, something that can be very actionable and it's not that, I would say, obvious for many people. And the same goes for migrations.
Okay. With with e-commerce SEO, honestly, well, you said the same things that I don't share a lot, but I think I haven't shared a lot of e-commerce in general for a while,
Hmm.
so that counts.
Yeah, sure.
But honestly, what really surprises me is that uh, specific duplicate content things, like really e-commerce specific duplicate content types that are already known, that like you can have a list of all of them. Like I in the Tag SEO Pro course, I talk about duplicate content, and I specifically shared duplicate content types and
Hmm.
examples for e-commerce. Like, for example, a product with the category in the URL, but it belongs to multiple categories. It has
Uh-huh.
multiple URLs, or
Yeah.
category with like filters and everything applied. it might not be like, oh my god, this is something I've never ever heard. That might not be it, but that's something that still needs improvement, because so many websites are still struggling with this. And yeah, it's
Yeah, and a lot of, maybe
duplicate.
not a lot, but some CMS systems do it, from what I
Yeah,
remember, by default sets. Yeah.
yeah, but it's also not only about content management systems. It's more, many times it's about people who are creating these categories, who are creating these products, or don't even think about the URL structures.
Yeah.
So they create it all, and then they call an SEO, or then they think it's time to hire an SEO. So obviously not SEOs create this, but it's still something that I see a lot. And with migrations, I think um, there are many things, like obviously many things that go into migration, in like your realm mapping and everything, things that you like, things I call tasks that you need to do. But when it comes to migrations, I think the most important thing, given you are good at what you do, and given that you know exactly what migration is and how to handle it, what's really important is communication, because migration involves so many teams, and collaboration is so important. And also talking to stakeholders and giving them just the right amount of detail, so that they feel uh, like they know that everything is going well. And then uh, not overloading them, and then sharing like bite-sized information with them, and then with the developers you're sharing different kind of information. So all the collaboration part is super important, because
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that if you can do the best job as an SEO, but if you're working in silo, well, then it's going to be really hard to make the migration work. Plus, you need to have like really critical and analytical skills to first even evaluate if immigration is needed, because
Yeah, totally.
there are valid reasons for migrations, and there are no valid reasons for migrations. So, well, you if you for example, I had clients coming to me, potential clients, like, oh, we want to migrate. I'm like, why do you want to migrate? And they would be like, oh, our competitors are on the same platform, or some like, oh, we just want to, we think that it's going to be cool. And
Yeah.
well, you can find someone else, but I'm not going to help you. If it's just like for the sake of migrating, it doesn't
Yeah,
actually, because they don't know what it involves, and they don't understand how much time and effort and money, and like every migration is a risk, so risks involved.
totally.
So yeah, I don't want to help with that.
Yeah, totally. You need to have a good reason to take that risk.
Exactly.
Okay, and tell me now, how does Christina spend her day? Like, how is it for you?
For me, it's usually, well, I have a whiteboard with like things that I need to do. I
Oh,
have in the morning I usually write down
okay. So
things that I
you
need
do
to do
this in the
today.
paper style. You don't do it like
Yeah, you know what?
electronically.
I switch sometimes. Plus, I have my task manager task manager software that I'm using, and I have like things that I need to do for a week, then tasks that I set out, for example, for my VA. And then here in paper I write what I'm focusing on today specifically.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I also use, like default notes from Mac, on like Mac computers, or like
Yeah,
Apple products, because sometimes I just remember something, and I'm writing down, and then I can pull things from there to the paper. I really love, honestly, I really love, crossing things out on the
yeah.
paper. Yeah. So I do that, and I try to like have good clarity of what I'm focusing on today, because if there is no clarity, there
Yeah.
is like lots of jumping around. And then I think, what do I do then? Okay. I think try to create social media content so that when I have my fresh head, I can schedule it, I can post it right away. Then I do something that is like needed, for example, for a course. Maybe I create a new process. Maybe I'm reviewing something. Then I think I'll check social media. Maybe there are some ideas or some answers that in my post so that I can create more content based on this. Sometimes I write emails or do changes on my websites. That's something that I usually do myself. Um, yeah, or something like that. And then
And like how many hours per day, more or less?
um, I think I think it's if I worked 6 hours, my brain is melting.
Uh-huh.
It's just because I remember when I was working full time with companies and usually working days 8 hours. Honestly, I never I I understand that like you work maybe 3 4 hours out of 8 because
Yeah.
working solid 6 hours when you work for yourself is much more than working
Yeah,
8 hours
totally.
working
Totally.
for someone. Yeah, so I think I aim if I worked, and I remember I used to track all the time so that I can see where I'm spending my time. So I remember whenever I tracked like 20, 22 hours, 20 is good, like 22, 23 hours is a little bit more. um a week, that was a lot. I got done a lot and I got really tired, but that's like solid
Solid.
work.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, totally. And
Plus I do a lot of,
yeah,
sorry, just
yeah.
one thing, plus I do a lot of things that when I again when I was working full time, like many things are just, like you're doing the same. So sometimes you can just zone out and you do the same things. Like keyword research was pretty chill, this kind of stuff. But now what I do, 99% of the things require strategic thinking and planning and like seeing everything from like all aspects.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I do like, I do one thing, but it's not something that I would repeat all the time so that I can automate it in my head. So that's
Yeah.
something that also reduces the hours that I can work.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And during the weekends, do you take weekends off?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
For my first 8 months working for myself, I did not take any, like, even one day off.
Uh-huh.
It
I
was,
am struggling with that as well.
yeah, it was partly because I just needed to, like, figure out something,
Yeah.
but partly because I was really excited. And especially, as I said, I was doing my SEO challenge course simultaneously with like working with clients and learning business skills and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, I loved it a lot. Like I felt good. It's not like I made myself do that. But then at some point after a couple of burnouts, I understand that I need to have like better boundaries. I'm still not the best at it, but yeah, for me, taking weekends off, unless there is something like I took some time off the week, then I can work, let's say, on Sundays, pretty chill. Sometimes I feel good working on Sunday, doing like stuff, not on social media, but something like internally,
Mm-hmm.
like admin stuff, probably. It's good to have this crossed off with my pen on paper, but at the same time I would not sacrifice my weekends for just like pure work.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, totally. Okay, so Christina, where can people find you and your courses? That's the question.
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. So you can find me on Twitter at Azarchik, C-A-K at the end, or just type Kristina Azarenko. The same on LinkedIn, Kristina Azarenko. And when it comes to my courses, you can check out techseo.pro.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I love this domain name.
Yeah, it's nice.
So that's the main course. But you can also check out marketingsyrup.com and check out Academy there. There are more links to more courses by me.
Okay. Okay, cool. And any final tips for people just starting out in SEO?
I think When you start out in SEO, if I were to do it again, and that's what I did when I was starting, and it really helped, just learn as much as you can before you can figure out, because when you can specialize only when you know everything else, that so that you know what you want to specialize in, right?
Totally.
But when you're just starting, learn everything. Like, right, if you can't afford courses, that's okay. Go to LinkedIn, go to Twitter, read posts, sign up for newsletters, like for example SEO FOMO by Aleda Solis, like where you can find information and links to different blog posts. If you're a woman, definitely join Women in Tech SEO. There's so many amazing women there eager to help, and you can ask questions there
Totally.
without feeling that you're dumb, because it's
Yeah.
okay to ask questions, right? So follow people, read as much as you can, practice, and then whenever you're ready, if you want to specialize in, then look for more advanced information there and practice more in this field. But in the beginning, just learn everything that you can.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great advice. Kristina, thank you so much. Thank you. I was honored to have you here. And yeah, I hope
Thank
you will want to join me in the future for some other episode.
Sure. Thank you so much. And thanks
Yeah, thanks.
everyone who watched till
Thanks.
the end.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Bye bye.